What was that experience like as you guys waited to the very last minute to qualify out in Japan?
It was exciting. It's still kind of hitting me now, but we took the hardest route possible, losing our continental qualification against Cuba in January, which was a lot of people saw as a golden door, and then we went to Japan and we went to 5 sets in 4 of our 7 matches, I believe, and even then, grinding toe to toe against some of the best teams, it wasn't enough, as we needed help from Poland after. So even after we won our last game in 5 sets, we had to go back to the hotel and watch the Poland-Australia game.
And what was that like watching that? I mean, my goodness, like talk about nervousness as you can't do anything about it, and you're sitting there in a hotel room just being like, are we going to make it or not? What was that like?
It was crazy. We got off the bus and we ran to our rooms pretty much as soon as we could and started watching the game. It was kind of funny because the internet wasn't very good, and we had to kind of move into 2 separate rooms. And I remember I was sitting with 5 or 6 guys, and then as Poland went up 2-0, we needed Poland to win. They were up 2-0, and then the game was really close at the end, so it was 25-25, and all of a sudden we hear screaming and stuff getting thrown around and stuff, and we weren't sure if it was happy or what. So all of a sudden we heard a couple teammates pour into the hall, and I went in the hall and someone was ripping their shirt off and cheering and stuff. So we all
who was ripping their shirt off?
Gord.
Oh, there you go.
And
nice,
people
nice.
were going crazy. So, and we were all jumping around, and I guess we all kind of must have blacked out for a couple minutes because there was the hall was a mess and people were jumping up and down. And there's a video on Facebook I think a lot of people probably saw, but at one point I just realized that like the whole French team was leaving for their game, and they were on the same floor as us, and they heard all this like yelling.
Yeah.
And they were at the end of the hall just like watching us like, are these guys crazy or what? And, yeah, it was fun. It was like I almost wouldn't have had it any other way, just because we could all be there in the hotel together and focused on that. But it was hard watching it and being completely out of control.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, yeah.
What do you think now, looking back on your career, where you've come along, being at Trinity Western, a few years beyond Trinity Western now, and now you've reached the pinnacle of your sport. You're going to the Olympics. Like, when you look back on it, what kind of sticks out in your mind?
It's been a cliche, but it's full of up and downs. But I don't know. We've had a lot of success with 2 national championships here and a bunch of notable losses as well. And then I don't know. My own personal career has been quite interesting as well, because there were times where I wanted to quit. If you asked me 5 years ago if I was ever going to be going to the Olympics, I definitely would have said, laughed at you. I didn't think that was ever possible, but here we are, and I didn't really see it coming. But to be honest, it hasn't fully hit me yet. I don't think it will until I need to make the traveling roster, of course, and then if that happens, then I get on the plane. I think then I'll finally start feeling it, but. I don't know. I guess you get a little bit of a taste of success playing with the men's volleyball team here at Trinity, but it never gets old, to be honest. Yeah.
So what you said 5 years ago, you would have laughed if I had said that. What changed? What were you like 5 years ago? What are you like now? How did that kind of transpire?
I remember at the end of my second year, I was just like going through the motions. I was just going to class, going to training every day, and not really doing anything extra, and. I was overweight and I didn't care. I was pretty bad at volleyball, and after my second year I just decided I don't want to be in 3rd gear anymore. So I in the summer after my second year I lost a bunch of weight and I hit the gym pretty hard, and I snuck my way into the starting lineup, and then we started winning championships, and all of a sudden I started to be like, oh, it's a lot funner when you're actually doing well, it's no wonder it was so frustrating in my 1st and 2nd year because I was terrible at volleyball. But I guess I just decided I wanted to see how far I could push it and see what I could do at my full potential. So it's luckily I graduated and I didn't really know what I wanted to do for work, and I had volleyball as a buffer zone, which has been amazing for me. But now I realize that this is what I want to do, and going to the Olympics is kind of makes it all worth it. All the injuries and all the time away from home and everything, it it's kind of made it all have a purpose for me. So
Yeah, because there was years when you were battling with knee issues all the
Mhm.
time, and just to get on the court was sometimes a bit of a battle.
for sure, yeah.
But now you look where you're at. Was there any moment where you kind of realized this is something I can do? I can play on the national team. I could be, a contributing member going to the Olympics. Like, was there a moment where you thought, okay, this is something I can do professionally?
Yeah, I was, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to think. I have snapshots in time. I remember Joel Jansen, our assistant coach in the men's volleyball team. He was my high school coach, and he told me in grade 11 or 12, so you could be an Olympian one day. You could be one of the players for a national team. And I'm like, you say that to everybody, and you're just trying to. But that stands out as a point in my life where I'm like, maybe he's right. No, I'm bad. And then there was just kind of moments in time where I felt like it's a possibility, but until maybe a year ago, I never actually believed that. Well, if the team was able to go to the Olympics, I didn't think I'd be a part of it, and it's like I said, it's still hitting me a little bit, so I still kind of feel like it's not real, but I mean, there are a couple snapshots in time for sure.
Yeah. How much did the coaching staff and just being at Trinity, being a Spartan, how much did that help you in your latter career here to get to where you are now?
Yeah, it's obviously a huge thing. There's 3 guys on the roster that were there, in Japan who made it happen. So that's a huge testament to the success of, Ben Josephson as a coach and the other coaching staff over the years. But you can't argue with that. It's the smallest school in the CIS and has the most players on the national team. So the facts speak for themselves. And I think, Ben Joe's been a huge part of that journey for us.
What was it like being in Japan, going for the Olympics, and you've got 2 former teammates with you along the way? Like, that's pretty impressive, kind of a fun little experience for the Spartan contingent there, I bet.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. I've been playing with a lot of those guys for so long that they all just kind of blend in as just teammates of a long time. But it's always fun to look and see like Rudy beside me or Steve beside me and feel like brothers with those guys after this many years playing and living together. So.
Shifting gears a little bit, what's it like playing with a guy like Gavin Schmitt? I mean, he is a world-class player, comes back from an injury in short order to help you guys get to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like playing with a guy like that?
He when I first met him, I remember being nervous and being like, oh, this guy's a superstar, and then I heard him talk, and I'm like, oh, this guy's just Gavin, he's just a normal guy. And I still see some people fanboying over him, and I'm like, oh, he's just Gavin, normal dude. But then I realized, he overcame this crazy leg injury. He's had stress fractures that his legs, like I saw the X-ray once, and it looked like a frozen lake when you hit a hammer on it. He had multiple breaks, and he recovered from that. And then in January for our continental qualifier, he found out his other one was broken, and you kind of feel for the guy, but then you realize he's not having a lot of self-pity for himself, so he found a way to heal it up in 5 months and lead the team. So I understand why he's a role model to so many people, because he's quite the hero for just coming over those injuries and then playing so well for us.
What was he like in the tournament? I know he is still dealing with some pain, but was that almost inspirational, seeing what he was doing to help you guys? Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember after the game, when it became official, when Poland won for our qualification, we were all kind of meeting in a room, and he was just speechless. Like, he was pretty emotional, I think, because for him, like, it's worth it. He's had so much hardship when he's like losing out on all these opportunities to go play in these great clubs, and he's just got to sit at home on the couch. He can't even train. He can't even work on it. He just has to wait for his bones to heal. So for him to finally have been this patient and for it to all pay off, it's been you're really happy for the guy. Happy for all of us, of course. We've all earned it in our own ways, but him especially, he's had a really hard journey.
So looking forward now, World League is next. What does kind of the summer look like as you guys, obviously the end goal is preparation for the Olympics?
So we have World League, which is 3 or 4 weeks, depending how we do. On Monday we leave for Czech Republic for a week, and then we go to exotic Saskatoon, and then Finland, and then if we make the finals of World League, we'll go to Portugal. So it's a lot of travel, I guess right now we're coming back from 16 hours time zone difference,
Yeah.
And then we leave for, I think, Czech is like 10 hours from here, 9
Right.
hours. And we come back to Saskatoon, just 8 hours back, and then 9 hours more in the future. Like it's
You
going
have
to
no
be
idea
hard.
what time zone you're going to be in. Eh?
Yeah, I don't even know where I am now. So,
Right.
but yeah, it'll be fun. And then I think we'll have a week off or something, and then we'll start training for Rio. And I think we got a week or two. I'm assuming we're going to do some type of trip with another team, go to Cuba or Argentina or who knows. But we haven't heard anything about that yet. But I'm assuming, and yeah, and then we'll go to Rio. Whoever makes the traveling roster. So. It's gonna really fly by. I know that. Like it feels like it's a couple months away, but I know all of a sudden we'll be there. And
Yeah.
so
Have you thought about that moment when you walk in the stadium? I mean, that's a moment that athletes dream about. You know, walking in, hearing your country called, the flag's there. You know, have you thought about what that moment's gonna be like?
I've sort of thought about it. I'm trying not to because I'm trying to focus just on making the traveling roster. For me, that's how I motivate myself. But it's really hard not to when you're lying in bed at night thinking about, you know, that will be like the capstone moment in my life, in my athletic career. But yeah, I had that opportunity at Fishu Games a couple years ago, and that was, if it's anything like that, it'll, you know, probably be something to remember.